It's Nolan. Boosting my label, brought it straight from the dirt. Double my grind, just a triple my word. Rockin' the same clothes, my first to the third. Say what you want. Motivated by grace, but I don't like them. It's for the industry and all them haters that comprise it. I own my image and likeness. I'm fighting like Leonidas. To be righteous is key. I had to make my circle tighter, cause they life is the street. I'm from the jungle where you kill what you eat. I love the feast. Taught myself how to cook, it was Franks and butter beans. Hot summers, no treats. Niggas born with no retreat. If they gotta get you, they willing to shoot you right through the priest. That's where I'm raised at. Today back. Y'all niggas listening to slave rap. Just got my chain back, crafted by Arabs. Wait, I got a blade strapped under the wave cap. My city full of niggas bleeding like a fucking ASAS. So when I say I overcame the odds, I don't pray to God. Watch niggas that was shaving hard, had to take a charge till I came to change the cards. Hey, I ain't got no words for y'all. I don't do the rap beats. I'm trying to get my girl to drop.
But I know it's gonna get better than this, for sure. I don't have everything that I want, but if there's one thing that I know, it's gonna get better than this, for sure.
Hey, I prayed for better days until I finally got. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment commentary and breakdowns. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all off rip. If you're tired of the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef analysis, if you're tired of us talking about it, if you're tired of the news updates, I'm not really sure why you clicked on this video, to be all the way frank, but this might not be the video for you, right? But I want to go ahead and tell y'all, this is one of the biggest battles, if not the biggest battle ever in hip hop, right? You take all things considered, you got two titans, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. They both represent two very different pathways to success, two very different angles on hip hop, how the creativity works, the art versus commerce conversation, mainstream appeal. They have two different angles on that. They have two different angles on how they approach their creativity. I'm not saying which one is better, which one is worse. You know what I'm saying? I came into this telling people I'm much more of a Kendrick Lamar fan than I was of Drake, but I gave Drake credit every step of the way, even at my own sacrifice, right? For those of y'all that understand me, those of y'all that rock with me, those of y'all that have been in support, I know it sounds like a broken record, like, damn, J Nolan really been defending himself. Well, I'm only speaking to reality, because as the channel has grown, as this story has developed, as this beef, went through its course, new people came, and for some kind of reason, this idea that I'm a Kendrick stan, or that I hate Drake, or that I wanted to see him lose, or that I wanted to see him fade from success, this narrative starting to pop up a little bit more and more in the conversation, and I'm not really understanding how that came to be. I was severely disappointed when Drake dropped the Heart Part 6. I was not disappointed because I thought he was a garbage rapper. I wasn't disappointed because, I mean, let's be freaking clear. If I was just rooting for Kendrick Lamar to reign supreme the whole way, I would have celebrated at Drake dropping a bad record. He was rapping well on the Heart Part 6, but it was a bad record in the grand scheme of things. You cannot come out and make a defensive beef record and tell people, oh man, you're lying, so I guess it ain't no use in me going any further, when you haven't proven anything about your claims of DV or of Kendrick Lamar's wife sleeping with his childhood friend and business partner. You can't say bring receipts and you don't have no receipts and then say, well, if you ever want to get back to me and actually get back to rap, it's all good. I guess we could do that. When you introduce this idea first, this is just common logical sense. Anybody that feels some type of way about this, again, this may not be the video for you. This may not be the content or subject matter for you. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to stop talking about this beef or this battle to benefit your personal taste. We're going to keep it all the way transparent here. This is hip hop. We don't know when we're going to get another battle of this magnitude ever in hip hop moving forward. There's nobody else coming up after these two artists that are going to be able to fill their shoes to the T, to have this level of success, have this level of talent, lyrical ability, have the amount of historical hip hop DNA inside of them. You can say what you want about Drake being a culture vulture. You can say what you want about Drake appropriating things. But what we do know is that he studied people that came before him in this space. People always say he stole his flow from Fonte or did this or that. Fonte is a very underground artist from a group called Little Brother. Most people still have not listened to the best work from Little Brother to this day. Lil Wayne was also a very big fan of Little Brother, went out of his way to rap over one of their beats on the Dedication mixtape, went out of his way, or Dedication 2 mixtape, I believe it was, sorry. Went out of his way to collaborate with them on their own very independent album called Get Back. Again, so if you're not equipped for the conversation, or if me talking about this and me actually saying Kendrick Lamar won is offensive to you, I don't understand why you're here. Now, we do have Questlove who came out and he's got this quote out saying nobody won. That's why the heading on this thumbnail here says nobody won. In his personal estimation, he feels like this situation went way too far. This is something that we talked about a few days ago. Definitely was concerned about where things were going to go once all of these severe allegations started surfacing in the music. But to be honest, it was destined to go that way because somebody wanted to play that hand from the jump. One thing that I don't support over here on this channel is somebody that's willing to go underneath the floorboards to play dirty. You get down and dirty with them. They all of a sudden find themselves in the trail, right? You go lower than them, and then they say, oh man, that's fucked up. I don't respect no people that do that. And I don't think anybody in real life would accept that. Because if you're on the defense, or if you're going against an opponent in anything, and that person wants to hit you below the belt, and they cheer when they do it, but then when you do it back to them, they say, oh my God, why are you doing that? At that point, the fight is pretty much over. Because if you can't take what you dish out, you have no business even being in the conversation. This is just real life shit. This is excluding the battle. This is excluding Drake. This is excluding Kendrick Lamar, whatever the fuck. So it was destined to go that way because we talked about this yesterday. From the very first diss record Drake put out, he was already insinuating certain things, and he felt like those were his aces in the hole that he wanted to hone in on. So again, Drake fans or people that wanted to just keep this thing like it was over on Sunday, and we're not going to talk about this shit. Nah, we're going to keep talking about this because there's new advancements. Publications are talking about this shit every day. There's new things coming out every day. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? If you've been keeping up with my channel for any amount of time beyond the scope of this battle, you know, every day I come on here and I talk about what's going on within the culture, within hip hop, within entertainment. Sometimes it's good stories. Sometimes it's about negative things people have going on. Sometimes it's about divorce. Sometimes it's about really heinous allegations that people are facing and they're trying to fight their way out of it. But we cover the shit. It wasn't that long ago. I was just talking about Jeezy and Jenny Mai and her talking about how she felt, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to put out a narrative of him perhaps putting his hands on her, perhaps crashing a golf cart, being drunk, or perhaps it was, on purpose. Jeezy defending himself. Y'all don't think I'm a fan of Jeezy? Y'all don't think I grew up as a person in Atlanta bumping Jeezy every day? That had nothing to do with me covering what's going on in the situation and trying to be as balanced about the situation as I could possibly be. So if you think I'm not going to do that in one of the biggest, well-documented hip-hop beefs ever, it makes no sense. So let's get to what Questlove had to say about this. All right. He posted on Instagram. He says, "Nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children and actual facts be damned. Same audience wanting blood will soon put up RIP posts like they weren't part of the problem. Hip hop is truly dead." So Questlove came out and declares that hip hop has met its final demise. He says it's dead. And I don't want to go in on Questlove because he is a hip hop legend. He is a hip hop pioneer. His group and band, The Roots, have been in this game since the very early 90s. They've got classic albums. I grew up listening to The Roots. They're actually a very big foundational piece in what it is that I do as a hip hop artist. I can never take that away from him or his group mates, bandmates, or counterparts in The Roots. What they've been able to accomplish as an eclectic jazz band that had hip hop foundation and two incredible MCs. Can't take nothing from them. Right? I respect the fuck out of Questlove's opinion, especially on various other matters that he's played a role in. But to say hip hop is dead, I don't know about that. I can't agree with that. Hip hop will always live through the MCs that were in this battle, whether this was about skill or not. Right? You want to say it wasn't about skill? They still had to go in the booth and actually create records. They had to create memorable records, which I think they accomplished. They had to still put art into the way that they formulated their words. So, no. And I advocated on that in the battle, right? Kendrick Lamar did Euphoria. That was really good rapping. Push-Ups by Drake was pretty good rapping. Family Matters by Drake was even better rapping. Excellent rapping, as a matter of fact. The pockets that he was finding on that song, he was fucking sliding. And he was talking his shit. He was slapping everybody who had any type of issue, any type of bullshit. He came out on some Mekhi Phifer and paid him for shit. Any nigga that ever owed me money, any nigga that ever looked at me wrong or ever said some jealous bullshit about me is fucking dead, eh? That was Drake. He was rapping. I wasn't the biggest fan of Meet the Grams, particularly because of the beat. I've actually grown to appreciate it more as I've sat with it. But the rapping on that song, the painting of the pictures, the letters sent to the family, all that shit was good rapping. It wasn't the best rapping from Kendrick Lamar. We know he can rap at tiers way beyond that. But it was a narrative. It was a storyline. It was a message to it. What more are we asking for? I would love to have, been in the culture, somebody documenting these things when Jay-Z and Nas were going back at it, right? Because although it wasn't the same level of scrutiny in the bars, they were definitely going low as well, right? Do we have to sit here and rap both these niggas' records? Because in the midst of Jay-Z being on top of the game, going at Nas, going at Mobb Deep, he was definitely also on, this song is on Blueprint. That's Blueprint era, which means Unplugged was around the same time with Questlove playing the drums. So you were actually a part of that situation. Yeah, you were paid as a musician. You were chosen by, the top artists in the game at the time, and you were doing your job. But come on, man. The Roots, y'all dissed Biggie. Y'all dissed Bad Boy in y'all video, legendary video, What They Do, right? Y'all felt like that whole mainstream, that bad boy era was diluting the hip hop game. Y'all wanted to mock them and come from a space. So whatever nature it is, if you're willing to disparage somebody else at their expense in order to make yourself look better, you've played your part. Now, of course, you are an elder statesman. You've seen all the eras. You've seen all of this stuff play out. And of course, from your current day stance, you're going to look at it a certain way. And I actually wouldn't expect Questlove to look at it very much different, other than the fact that he says that hip hop is dead. I think that's a little bit crazy. Like, hip hop can't be dead. You're playing hip hop music, playing jazz music with Jimmy Fallon. You got hip hop artists coming up there doing their fucking thing, rapping, performing for the people. The music is always going to be the music. The fans are always going to be the fans. The art is always going to be the art. If Questlove didn't come out here and say hip hop was dead during the mumble rap era, I don't think hip hop is dead today. Now, this ain't the first time we've had niggas get in heated battles and stuff went bad. I don't support whatever the fuck is going on with niggas' houses being shot up. I'm not okay with that. But come on, dog. Come on. And it's not like the 25-year-olds of today, the 18-year-olds of today, you know, the 32-year-olds of today are going to be really paying attention to what Questlove has to say. But for me, as somebody that's entrenched into hip-hop, yeah, when I see Questlove speak out and say his piece, I'm going to respect it. I'm going to accept it for what it is. But come on, man. That's a heavy-handed response, in my opinion. Do I agree with the whole women and children, you know, being at the expense of the battle? Yeah, I do. But this isn't the first time. I mean, women and children were at the expense in the Pusha T battle with Drake, right? Nobody really felt so sorry for Drake when Pusha T exposed his child. I don't think that was the thing. That it was the same level of shock value. It was the same level of artistry, right? Some people said that it was a low blow, perhaps. But for the most part, it was just, hey, this is part of the game, right? Nobody criticized Drake for saying that man's wife's name on his record. This is the same tactic he's pulled 2 straight battles. So why are we supposed to feel sorry for a nigga who didn't learn from his mistake? I'm just not understanding how that plays out. Like, you were going against, let's go back to Pusha T. You're going against an artist who's light years below you in terms of fame, accolades, status, record sales, all that shit, right? There's so many different angles just within those 5 things that I named. You could talk about how much bigger you are than him, how you grew up on his music, now you're tossing it in the garbage, all this type of shit. Niggas would have been fine with that. Hating ass nigga, you've been plotting all along, blah, 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 blah. Not to mention the Kanye side of it, just shit on all of them. But why is it in the midst of you having all of that material, you want to say, I want to let it ring like Virginia Williams? What is a man supposed to do when you say something about his wife? And we're talking about real life shit. This ain't hip hop. This ain't rap. This is just in fucking manhood. You say something about a man's wife, a man is going to come out and defend that honor by any fucking means necessary. Let's keep it all the way a buck. Let's not try to save this man based on what he introduced into his own atmosphere. We've seen numerous rap battles. Some have gone high, some have gone low level, some low brow shit. But if you want to hold anybody accountable, and everybody has to be held accountable, but when you play that role, right? It is what it is. It's the Karate Kid shit. When a young nigga wanna break a nigga leg on purpose, and he still kick your ass at the end of the fight, you lost. You gotta live with your decision though. Boom. Expose your kid. You say I'm good, man. I made a career. I made some music I'm not proud of. I'ma back out. You find yourself in a battle with an even bigger artist, more powerful artist, much more powerful voice of an artist. You don't got nothing else to really go against the nigga with. So what do? You aim at the family. You name drop a nigga wife again. Or fiance. Why didn't you learn from the first time? This time around, you wanted to beat that to the punch. Like, all right, clearly I wasn't prepared last time. So let me be prepared to go dirty this time. I'm going to lead with that. You led with it and you still lost. Why am I supposed to be held responsible for this nigga's decisions to where people want to tell me, all right, Nolan, he lost. Okay, let's not talk about it no more. No, because if the roles were reversed and Kendrick Lamar lost, just imagine how disappointed I would be. I would have to talk about it every day because I'm like, damn, the nigga lost, took a L. What the fuck going on? You played your hand wrong. Look at all the different things you could have done to win. So it don't matter who you put in that slot. The battle's too big not to talk about. It's what everybody's talking about. Have you not visited Twitter in the last few days? Have you not seen what's trending? These niggas' songs are still trending on Twitter days later. Motherfuckers is going on Billboard days later. Money is being generated for both artists days later. Whether or not Drake is taking a financial hit with his corporate sponsors or whatever, there's still money being made on his behalf. So why is it, how can I be put with this label? Somebody said I was crucifying Drake. I respect all y'all, but when you say stuff like that to me, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Right? I'm crucifying somebody? I ain't disrespected this nigga not once. Anything that I've reported on is stuff that other people are talking about because the dialogue in hip hop went from, okay, now that the battle's over, let's address what these niggas are talking about. Let's see if we could find anything to substantiate these claims. Just so happens Drake had a lot of shit out there that opens the window to possibly substantiate some of the claims. When it comes to Kendrick Lamar, there's not that. Now, on to that subject. I don't know who this person is because they're incognito. They're positioning it as OVO Mole. I don't think this is an OVO Mole that's putting this up, but somebody has opened up a website called okliar.com. And the okliar.com is basically a parody of Kendrick Lamar's oklama.com. Oklama or Oklama was a website that Kendrick Lamar started during the rollout before Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came out. It had a few files on there that you could go into and just read his thoughts leading up to the album, where he stood mentally, and some of, it was kind of like journal entries. So this person does okliar.com, where their mission is to expose Kendrick Lamar. Okay? So let's go. We're going to go through what this person is trying to say about Kendrick, since I'm supposed to be Mr. Mr. Crucifixion. Like I'm on PG Lane, Kendrick Lamar payroll. Let's see what they're trying to say about him. All right? So this is the OK Liar website. I believe this is the first file, the lies. Right? So they say, Kendrick lied about his lifestyle. Kendrick lied about abusing his fiance. Kendrick lied about not chasing clout. Kendrick lied about his truth. Kendrick lied about Drake starting this. Kendrick lied about having paperwork. Kendrick lied about constantly cheating on his wife with white women. How you lie? Let me just finish this. Kendrick lied about not teaming up with others to get the #1 spot. Kendrick lied about not having bots, spam accounts, and keeping pages on payroll. Kendrick lied about others so they wouldn't believe the truth. Number one, this is clearly a fan. This is a Drake fan who decided to invest $25 or whatever to buy a domain name and defend their favorite artist. Clearly, because Kendrick lied about his lifestyle. What don't we know about his lifestyle? Drake didn't expose his lifestyle. You say Kendrick lied about abusing his fiance. There's been no substantial evidence to support that, but maybe this website will expose that. Kendrick lied about not chasing clout. I don't think this battle was a clout chase battle. It was about motherfuck the big three. It's just big me. I mean, I guess you could say that's clout, but him and Drake have been in a pretty subliminal, not even subliminal. They've been dissing each other back and forth for 10 years. So it's not about clout. They've been engaging in this battle before it ever came to the actual ring. Kendrick lied about his truth. Kendrick lied about Drake starting this. Now, based on the way that events played out, I went and checked out some videos of people that were documenting the whole Drake Kendrick Lamar beef and what they felt the origins of this feud are. So if you go back to the Buried Alive song on Take Care, Kendrick is pretty much rapping about, meeting Drake, seeing what his whole aura was about, everything he had going on, lifestyle, and kind of being insecure about his space coming into hip hop, being tainted, women perhaps being enamored by the Drakes of the world, shit like that, right? Everything was all good. Drake was a fan of Kendrick's mixtapes and stuff, so he invited him to be a part of that. Took him on Club Paradise tour along with A$AP Rocky, who are all embroiled in this beef at this point. So from there, I don't know. After the tour took place, I believe the first infraction was DMX came out clowning Drake. Totally unrelated. He went to the Breakfast Club. They asked him about him. He said, I don't like his face. I don't like the way he dressed. I don't like his rap style. He said, if I could catch him, he said, I wish it was 10 years ago. I could catch him in an elevator, duff him out, and move about my business. Right? Which Kendrick Lamar ended up bringing back. I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. You know what I'm saying? So he brought that back. And I think one of the key reasons why that actually matters is because Kendrick Lamar did an interview back then, and they asked him about that Breakfast Club interview of DMX talking about Drake. And he said him and his homeboys were like hysterically laughing at it on his tour bus, right? He didn't defend Drake, didn't come to his aid, didn't say, yeah, I feel like X might have took it too far. He said it was hilarious. So this is the first instance of perhaps Drake feeling some type of way about Kendrick. But that's not starting anything. That's just him being honest about how he perceived the situation. But Drake could see that as, you're laughing at my expense. You can't be for me. Whatever. From there, I think somebody asked him, I think he was asked multiple times. He went to Ebro in the Morning with Peter Rosenberg. And Peter Rosenberg, who I'm not very much a fan of these days, was basically trying to warn Kendrick about spending too much time with Drake so that he doesn't become someone that he's not, right? He warned him like, hey, don't spend too much time around him. You don't want to lose your essence, lose your, all the things that made us love you, basically. And again, Kendrick did not defend Drake. He basically said, I understand what you're saying, and went about his day, which could again be perceived as, damn, why this nigga ain't speaking up for me when I looked out for him. That Drake could have felt that way. I don't know if that's starting a battle, but those are the things that lend it to that. Then, of course, the control verse ended up coming. And although so many others were named in that verse, Drake is the one who took it the hardest. And then they started taking shots on albums, feature verses, B-side records, the whole shit. Whatever. They're two willing participants. But Drake was the one that started talking greasy first. When he caught wind of it, he says, oh, that was a nice record for the moment. Can anybody name how that verse starts? Right? Okay, you got a good album out, but longevity to stand the test of time, you're gonna have to show and prove that you can do more than one classic album. This is what Drake said in interviews. So he decided he wanted to take that route and make it a public issue. But you're saying Kendrick lied about starting this. Kendrick never spoke about who started it. So how is that a lie? That's how I know this is a fan. And niggas is, OVO Mole comes out and... Nah, nigga, this is a fan. They invested $25 to get this domain name and get a website set up. And niggas is trying to act like this is some groundbreaking mole. Kendrick lied about having paperwork. He never spoke about paperwork. He said you got robbed, and it was reported that you snitched on the person who robbed you, and you rapped about getting robbed multiple times, which we don't hear too many rappers come out and admit to getting robbed. So we'll give you a point for the transparency. But when you decide that you want to start leaning into street cred in your career, others that have heard you talk about these things are going to pull that up. So what paperwork are we talking about when this nigga put pen to paper about getting robbed? Again, that's going to sound like I'm swiping at Drake, but I'm not. I actually salute people that can be open and transparent about what they've gone through. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar on the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers album. He talked about cheating on his wife or cheating on Whitney with white women as he got into his newfound fame. So how can you say he lied about it when he made an album speaking about it? Had he never made the album, nobody would ever have known it. So the whole album is about her. It's almost frustrating to talk about. Because if you listen to the album, the first song of the album, I won't say the first song of the album, but throughout the album, you can tell that Kendrick going to therapy was at the request of Whitney to address his shortcomings, to address his wrongdoings, to address his family trauma, to address all of the things that made him the person he is. Not to say he was a bad person, but to just address those things, to have clarity about why he was that way or why he looked at things a certain way. Real nigga need no therapy. But if he never makes this album, none of those narratives are even introduced to the public. So how can you say he lied about it when he actually told you what it was? Kendrick lied about not teaming up with others to get the #1 spot. He has one feature verse on a Future album. Yeah, the rest of the niggas was jumping on the bandwagon. But this was really Kendrick's opportunity to get everybody out the paint. They've already been going at it. This is the time. Hey, man, fuck it. Let's do this shit once and for all. Niggas been tap dancing around the issue, which is it's funny. Niggas been tap dancing around the issue, and that's actually part of the content on the Big Steppers album is tap dancing around the issue. I can't make this shit up. Kendrick lied about not having bot spam accounts. Let's not talk about bot spam accounts in nothing music and entertainment related, especially not if both artists are under the UMG umbrella. Bots and spam accounts have been out here doing all types of work for everybody. Kendrick lied about others so they wouldn't believe the truth. What the hell does that even mean? Anyway. Folder number 2. Liar. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. This all you got? That's literally all you got? I wasted my time clicking on this. You ain't expand on the lie. You want to put it in the font of his album, damn. Liar. This is how you know this is amateur work. I'm mad I'm wasting my time on this. Folder number 3. I don't know what this photo is or what it's supposed to represent. It looks like it's very old. Looks like, I'm guessing this is a hiking trip or something to that effect with Kendrick, Dave Free. It looks like Whitney's here. We don't know who the other characters in this are. It looks like Mixed by Ali is in the corner here, who's Kendrick's engineer and engineer at TDE. So yeah, there's that. So maybe this isn't high school. Maybe this is a few years ago, because Ali's been looking like this for a while, but it looks somewhat recent. Not recent, but, you know, maybe within the last 5-7 years. I think Kendrick is in the middle. This is Dave Free. I don't know if this is Kendrick or if this is Kendrick. Kendrick ain't but so tall. So, I don't know. That might be him on the outer. But who knows what the validity of this shit is or why it even matters. So here we have this video says, "Okay, liar." And I think this is supposed to be an alleged witness of the Vegas incident where they claim that Kendrick put hands on somebody, a woman that they say at the Hard Rock Cafe, Hard Rock Hotel or whatever. I'm guessing that this is what it is because I was referred to this website from somebody who said that. I haven't watched this video though, so let's see what it's talking about. This is supposed to be the bomb, the nuke, I guess.
So
she ended up pressing charges, I think. Last thing I heard, and I had to do a huge report, and then hopefully I didn't have to go to court, but I didn't.
Sock him?
No, I didn't meet him. I met all of his friends because they were all trying to get into that room, and then we had to detain anyone trying to get in the room because the cops made us lock it out.
No, wait a second. I got a little behind. Are you telling me that this particular rapper had like a large group of
He had like
people
7 rooms
with him, like an really, like an entourage?
Yep. I'm gonna get so in trouble for telling this story.
At the Hard Rock, we had to physically apprehend.
Okay, I'm gonna rat someone out.
Yeah.
So Memorial Day weekend, it was Memorial Day or it was fight weekend? I don't remember.
Oh, they're both. There was a big UFC fight. There's always a big UFC fight Memorial Day weekend.
Well, no, it was Memorial Day weekend, and then it was fight weekend, and then Memorial Day weekend. And I don't remember. I think it was Memorial Day.
I know I was there for a fight on Memorial Day weekend.
Whatever. Anyways, so I get dispatched up to one of the rooms.
Dispatched, that's lingo. That's technical insight.
I'm going to end up talking in code.
She was told to.
Yeah. The call came over the radio.
I got told to go up to her room to help some girl get down to the casino because she was scared. She ends up being all bloody and everything.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, it was lovely. So I'm like, oh, crap. And so I had to call like my supervisor, then I had to call my other supervisor, then I had to call my boss. And I was like, we got a situation. Because like half of her face was like blown out pretty much.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm like, oh, lovely. And come to find out, she was with a certain rapper who had assaulted her.
Was his first name Lil?
No.
That'll narrow it down.
His first name was Kendrick
Lamar?
Yeah.
Wait, it was him? What did he do? I mean,
he beat up some chick. It was like, there was like blood all over.
did this stuff go out on TMZ yet? that? Because I think I need to make a phone call.
No. It's supposed to be hidden, but no one knows I'm on here, so it's okay.
Oh no, cat's out of the bag now.
Did y'all call the police?
She
was the police.
Was it swept under the carpet?
There was cops there, and we didn't find out it was Kendrick until later.
After he made it rain, it went away.
Make sure
Yeah, he was in body English. It was okay. But allegedly, let's go with allegedly, so I don't get sued.
Okay. So that's the situation. There's no further documentation here other than this media takeout article. They say Manchester, Tennessee, June 16th. Kendrick Lamar performs in concert during Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival on June 16, 2023 in Manchester, Tennessee. Wow, I'm not sure why they're talking about this in 2023 when this was supposed to be years ago. But let's humor it. They say shortly after Media Takeout published the article, we were reached out to first by people we know who worked at Kendrick, former label management, TDE, who asked us to delete the article. We were told that the woman in the video was lying and that the incident never happened. Media Takeout took the matter seriously and began a more thorough investigation into the woman making the claims and the claims themselves. We confirmed that she did work as security at the Hard Rock Casino, but we're not able to confirm any of the details of an alleged assault. We also confirmed that Kendrick was at the Hard Rock Casino on the day of question. And this is a screenshot from, again, a Media Takeout source. You take that how you will. Some people believe Media Takeout. Most people generally don't. But this is all that they have. This video, if this woman in this video is telling the truth, Kendrick Lamar definitely is going to have to answer to that, which he has in an interview. But I think what they're trying to imply is that this story was suppressed. The Breakfast Club interview that Kendrick Lamar did, let's just assume, I'm not going to assume anything. Let's just say if it were true, he wouldn't say it was true in an interview. Who would do that? But you got to have a little bit more than this. Number one, because you didn't identify who the woman was. There's no description of the woman in question. I don't know. It feels odd to me. And again, if it's real, then Kendrick definitely would have to face something for it. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know who the woman in the video was. This video, we don't know who any of these people are in this video to say it's a credible source. You could say that she was confirmed as an employee, but again, this is coming from Media Takeout. So this isn't a reputable website clipping. And we still don't know what the hell this photo is supposed to be. I'm guessing that this is on site in Vegas somewhere. This is perhaps the entourage of people that were present. But there's multiple women in this photo. Nobody identified these women in any kind of way. The police were there. There's no police report. Y'all definitely didn't have it here. So it's just weird. It's weird. But that's what we have as supposed evidence to support Drake's claims that Kendrick and Whitney have been involved in some sort of DV incident during their relationship. It's not reliable, but again, in the interest of fairness, especially since people are asking me to be more fair to Drake, which I don't see how I've been unfair, we got to talk about both sides. Both of them made some very harsh claims on their songs, and this is the best that y'all have towards Kendrick Lamar. This is the information that informed Drake. we still have nothing that speaks towards Dave Free and Whitney having a relationship, or the child that her and Kendrick share actually being Dave's. We have nothing that lends credibility to that. So that's that. Getting back into the musical debate, because what the hell? We've got DJ Academics coming out and trying to explain why his savior Drake won the rap battle against Kendrick Lamar, even if all allegations are false. So here we have him trying to sway public opinion, even though pretty much everyone has agreed his boy lost. It felt like Drake even said he lost on the Heart Part 6. But here's Ack.
The rules aren't the same for both artists. When Kendrick drops Like That was a response to a song called First Versus Shooter. He drops Like That. Drake has never ducked a battle. He's always been there, right? Everyone's like, it's been like 2 weeks. Drake didn't say anything. You know, everyone says he's scared. That's what I'm saying, changing the rules. Okay, Drake drops. It's 2 weeks now. We're waiting for Kendrick. Yo, chill out. Yo, he just takes a while to cook. Like, what people think about both artists doing the same thing, just taking time to create music.
I thought Kendrick was ducking, and I was annoyed at Kendrick. And I'm a Drake hater, but I'm also not like a Kendrick slurper.
But also, look at Kendrick put blatant lies on some of the records.
Didn't Drake too?
Yes.
Well,
Drake started it.
Yeah, we got to be honest.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's biased. I feel it's like
I don't know.
Oh man, I love it when people actually get confronted with reality in front of their face. I love that part. That's the benefit that I don't have in having conversations with some of these people. You know, a lot of times when you have like these one-man shows like mine, or like Ack, or like certain others, or it's just a room of people all echoing certain sentiments, you can run with certain narratives and never be confronted with any type of pushback. And it'll make it sound like you're so educated and know everything. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I try not to come off as if I know everything. I just address things as they come out. I have no problem saying when I don't know some shit, or I forgot some shit, or I missed the name, or whatever. I'm very much one of those people that's like, I don't feel like I'm all that intelligent. I think I may be a little bit smarter than the average person, but I'm not no scholar. But I'm gonna let them continue.
I'm not sure if Drake started.
the Dave Free shit.
Yeah, that came afterwards. That came after the whole you have a kid.
Oh, okay. So what was the first? So every
No, push-ups. He takes a
Alludes
subtle
to
jab.
his
oh
bodyguard.
yeah, Whitney and the
Whitney's
bodyguard.
bodyguard.
No, that's a play off words. There's actual
on,
movie
bro.
called
Stop it.
Act. You said,
Stop
no. That's him.
I didn't know you compromised.
No.
Oh,
I really didn't know that you compromised.
No.
You compromised, bro.
But Dave Free's not a bodyguard. He wanted to just. That's what Drake does. When Drake's getting at an opponent, he always. I think people figured him out by now. Hey, you're gonna get at my love interest, and I think he instantly went there. This is exactly what he did to Pusha T when Pusha T revealed that he had a son. He said, "Listen, it says something ring like Virginia
That was
Williams."
again before.
That was his wife.
That was again before.
Okay,
Story
but
about
he didn't mention anything messy like, "Yo, your general manager is fucking your."
I mean,
your wife.
define messy. He's talking about someone's.
No.
Yeah.
But that wasn't.
Both of them kept
He
their
didn't make
wives.
an allegation at that point. That's what I'm trying to say.
And this is what
he
we
just
also
mentioned. He just
but
mentioned
this is
the
what we
name.
said earlier. We were talking about the
Yeah.
roast and mentioning like Tom Brady's kids, and nobody mentioned his kids because these are people that are off camera. When you take people that are off camera, they're out of the pub. Push Kendrick, keep their wives out of it. They don't put them in the public. You put their name in there. Don't be like, whoa, where's this coming from? How dare you speak on my family? But you mentioned my family's name in a battle. You mentioned my family's name negatively. It's not positive.
I'm glad this dude is echoing my sentiments. I didn't even watch this video before doing this. I just saved it because I saw it. So whatever they're saying, this is my first time hearing this conversation. I'm glad Academics is being confronted with logic.
You're not saying, hey, all respect to her, I just don't like you.
You mention innocence, you mention civilians. Once you mention civilians, you opening that up. You can't be upset when your civilians start getting
I agree. And that's why I think Drake coming out of the Pusha T battle, I think he said to himself, I wasn't comfortable with the fact that my family got exposed and the fact that I had a kid got exposed. And my response would have went somewhere else, so I'm going to bow out of this one. And I think him coming in, if you listen to the energy on push-ups, he even says at the end, which even though it's a play on words, he's like, I'm trying to keep it PG, but he's basically almost hinting like, I'm down to really get kind of in the mud with you. Before I wasn't with Pusha T. The only thing is, I don't think there's ever a response for someone saying, you fuck kids. Like, it's either two things. If you don't ignore it, it's the elephant in the room. If you respond to it, they're like, wait, about that, then they come up with all these loose narratives.
Let's do this. You're right. I'll concede that point. I'll say that, yeah, it's fucked up. You can paint that narrative. Let's say all allegations are false on both sides. Who's winning this battle? It's still Kendrick.
No.
Like that is bonkers.
No. I do like this Not Like Us record.
Right? Not Like Us, I mean.
Yeah, I like this record, but I'm going to be honest with you. The majority of this battle, before we got to this, was Kendrick Lamar sitting back and saying, I'm going to pick you apart as a man. The very fabric of what you portray to be, you're a whole fraud. You've stolen culture. You're a bad parent. You've made the same mistakes and you won't live up to responsibility. These are things that, like, he was almost picking at the fabric of Drake, and you're looking at him like, damn, maybe this guy's a fraud. So now if it's just completely lies that you were...
Can't like Drake anymore, man. I really liked him because he was a good dad. That's why I got into Drake. Because he's such a good father.
He's a family man.
That's why I've been listening to him for 20 years.
To me, that's a corny angle.
Family man he is.
But
he fucks bitches.
Yeah.
Are you still fucking bitches and writing bars about it?
Well,
do you still go in the yacht in
I'll
Turks?
tell you this, though. Culturally,
it's aspirational living.
So... they knew it's crazy. The superpowers get neutralized in so many different ways, man. I ain't even got to go too much further on that. And I'm gonna play one more conversation surrounding this battle, and I'm gonna
the
go ahead and
rules
get back
aren't
to
the
my
same.
life. So the other conversation is Ebro and the Apple Music crew, Nadeska and Low Key, where they share their thoughts on how this thing went as well.
We're not doing that. We're just saying like to drop a regional specific sounding record.
Yeah, it's something Drake just can't do.
And you gotta realize,
Gotcha. But hold on, Eddie. That is Kendrick's indictment of Drake this whole time. Is that
you don't have an identity, you don't have a sound, you don't have a home base, you don't have a region where you can collect the sound, you can cultivate a sound, you can collaborate with a sound and present it to the world.
And furthermore, you're black and you're not even in touch with what black people are really sensitive about. You don't stand for, which is why you brought up the slave shit.
Right.
Or when I talked about the Pac shit, I was like, yo, why you playing with Pac, bro? You're not from that. Like I said earlier, I was like, yo, that could be problematic for you, bro. Like, don't play with Pac like that. Now you playing with the slave shit?
That was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, this went over a lot of people's head. You got your white mom opening up a record saying, hey, I think you shouldn't use the right after that.
Interesting perspective from Ebro. I don't always agree with his takes. I don't always agree with, I sometimes feel like he inserts himself in situations and tries to center himself in them rather than just talk about what's on the board. But I got to say, he made really good points here. He's somebody from the West Coast, so some people may say he's biased. He's from the Bay Area, so he definitely understands Pac's importance out there. I think he's a little biased there, but it doesn't mean he's wrong. In hindsight, Drake made a few really strong missteps in this battle. I think when Kendrick challenged him to say, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more, and then you have your white mom open the song and then he come and say nigga. And I think he said the word nigga probably 200 times on the record just to drive home the fact that he can. I think there's a lot of people out there. I didn't question it, and that's whatever. But I saw other people, just from a battle standpoint, I understood where he was coming, what he was trying to do. But from a cultural perspective, I saw a lot of people that was like, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Which I can't argue with those people. And it kind of just drives home the issue, or I won't even say issue, but just the critique that people have of Drake, that you kind of are a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? And Kendrick made that, he created the soundtrack to those people. At the end of the day, I just think that when somebody pulls a you on you, it don't feel good, right? When Drake made back-to-back and packed Meek Mill the fuck out, nobody felt bad for Meek Mill. Nobody asked what Meek Mill had going on. Nobody said, damn, is this nigga gonna have a future in music? Nobody asked if he was gonna be able to recover. By the grace of God, he was able to come back, but it took a while. It literally took for Drake to bow down and allow him the space to come back, because, you know, Meek went away to jail shortly after that. So he buried the hatchet and embraced him when he came home. But who knows how this plays out if Drake were to keep his foot on Meek Mill's neck after getting home from jail. Right? Because niggas wasn't really fucking with him like that. If we look at Meek Mill today, people ain't really fucking with him. And he still has the stench and the remnants of that battle overshadowing his actual talent. I think Meek Mill is a really good rapper. He may rap about the same shit, may rap in the same tone a lot, but skill-wise, he's a skilled MC, and he ain't been able to like fully be himself since then. Of course, there's other shit like the Diddy thing, which we don't even know. The crazy thing is we don't even know how much time Meek Mill has ever spent in his life around Diddy, but the narrative on him is that they done did some freaky shit together, and people ain't letting that shit go. He's become the butt of niggas' jokes, and nobody's questioning his mental health or where he's at with it. So I feel like, again, if everybody else is expendable, if everybody else can get their taste of humble pie, why is it when it's time to give Drake his fork and knife, niggas want to say, no, let's make sure that the ingredients taste a little bit nicer on his plate? I don't get that part. You know? But luckily for me, I don't make the rules in hip hop. I don't pay none of these niggas bills. I'm not on anybody's payroll. I'm just here to speak to the people. Insiders, what it do. I greatly appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate everybody that's been joining, everybody that's been subscribing, everybody that's been consistently tuning into these videos. I greatly appreciate y'all. I will be back shortly with more content. But until then, I hope y'all have an amazing evening. And yeah, man. Much love and respect. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.